Next, we're going to do a 3-thread overlock narrow. We're still going to use 2 loopers, but instead of using the left-hand needle as we did for 3-thread overlock wide, we're going to use instead the right-hand needle and the green thread to set up for sewing the 3-thread overlock narrow. So to get set up to do that, first thing we're going to do is trim our blue thread, and we're going to just pull that thread, raise the presser foot lifter, and just pull that thread out of the way. We don't need the blue thread anymore. We're going to have to move the needle over to the right-hand position, so let's see how to do that. I'm going to open up the front cover and push and roll the movable knife out of the way so I have a little bit easier access to the needle area. I need to remove my left-hand needle and then replace the right-hand needle. To do that, I'm going to place my finger behind the needle and place my screwdriver into the slot of the B screw needle clamp area. Loosen that so I can drop my needle and take it out of there. Next, I want to take my right-hand needle and replace it underneath the screw marked A. I'm going to loosen that screw just a little bit, and I'm going to take my needle with the flat side of the needle to the back, and I'm going to place it under the slot marked A. Hold it there with your finger and turn that screw to tighten the needle in place. And one more thing, because we had slightly loosened that B screw, let's just tighten that back up again, just to make sure that that screw doesn't work its way loose. Now we're ready to thread the green thread. Reach up top, bring the thread into the thread guide at the top, bring the thread into the thread guide on the top of the machine, hold it slightly with a little tension with your left hand, bring the tail end down through the tension, around your 2 thread guides, over the green. Because it's green, we're following the green thread path. Bring it into the pigtail thread guide over the right needle. So thread your needle, grab the tail end, bring it to the back, and make sure you place it underneath the presser foot. We're going to roll that movable knife back into its original cutting position, close the looper cover, and now we're ready to try out our 3-thread narrow stitch. Before we sew our stitch, we need to set our tension dials. For our medium weight cotton, our instruction manual recommends the green thread or the needle thread at 3, our upper looper at 2.5, and our lower looper at 2. So let's give that a try and see how it looks, and we'll adjust as necessary. I'm going to place my fabric underneath the presser foot, and in this case, because a 3-thread narrow is usually used as an edge finish, I'm on a single thickness fabric. Okay, here's my 3-thread overlock narrow, usually used as a seam finish. It looks good on top and on the bottom. If you like, you can adjust your stitch length depending on the thread and fabric you're sewing to make your stitches closer together or further apart. The way you would do that is with your stitch length dial at the side of the machine. This is your stitch length dial at the side of your machine. It's set on 3, which is an average stitch length for most of your sewing. You can lengthen it out to 4 to make your stitches further apart. Let's see what that looks like. you can see the stitches are further apart than on our first sample. They're spread apart just a little bit more. Let's see what happens when we turn the stitch length to a shorter number. I'm going to put it down to a number 2. So here you can see the stitches are closer together. Here they were at 3, and here they were at 4. So just depending on the look you want for your project, you can adjust that stitch length however you want it to be. Now let's see how to thread up a 2-thread rolled hem.